I'm in my 14 carats. I'm 14 karat. Doing it up like my earth.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for some reason I'm feeling like I'm looking washed out. I put down the curtains and things like that, but I don't know, I think it's because the sun is setting. I'm starting to look a little washed out, so that's the reason why. And also I figured I would mention this is completely random, but the Christmas tree is officially up in my house. We made it past Halloween. Last year I had it up like October the 28th, but we don't gotta talk about that right now. But yeah, so it is officially up. I'm so excited for Christmas. Like, who cares about Thanksgiving? My house is like full of Christmas things right now, and I actually have Christmas music going for the kids, and I think maybe it was a little bit of a bad idea because now Sean is asking me when is Christmas, and he's got a long time to wait, but I love Christmas, so I just have to put it up. So I figured I'd let you guys know if you end up seeing like a Christmas tree in the background, that's what it is. But anyways, really quickly, I figured I would do a story time video for you guys because I know a few of you guys were wondering about my experience with my wisdom tooth, and I figured I would tell you like just a little story of what happened so you guys can know and be prepared for it in case you guys haven't got your wisdom tooth pulled or anything like that. Okay, so my wisdom tooth came up on this side. It's the only one that had shown where you could see it if you looked into the back of my mouth, and it came up I'd say when I was like 24, and then last year right after I had Layla, I had started feeling like a little pain, and I remember thinking like, please God, do not let this hurt me, because literally I had her like 3 weeks before my wisdom tooth started hurting, and I was just like, I thought, because I googled it, and sometimes Google can be wrong, so I had googled it, and they had said that you couldn't have your wisdom tooth pulled when you were nursing, because I nursed my daughter, and I was just so like, oh my goodness, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be in pain for an entire year. So I remember thinking like, please let it stop, and it actually did stop. Like, the pain stopped, and for an entire year I didn't feel it or anything. But then towards the middle of October, I had actually went and got my teeth clean, and when I was there, the dentist was in the back of my mouth like doing whatever she was doing. And I remember feeling like, starting to feel pain. And I had got it cleaned like earlier, couple months before, and the lady who usually does it, like, she's so good and like really gentle and things like that. But this lady, she was just going to town in my mouth. So I just remember feeling like a lot of pain. And afterwards though, it had stopped for a little, and she had told me after she had cleaned in my mouth, she was just like, yeah, from your x-ray you have a wisdom tooth here and you have two at the top. You don't have one on this side though. So what I'm going to do is when you come back for your cleaning again, I'm going to talk to you about getting them all removed at once. And to me, I was just like, ooh, I don't want to do that because it sounded painful. And I've heard some horror stories with wisdom teeth. Like, my sister actually told me that her wisdom tooth had got the one at the back of her mouth had got attached to her jaw or something like that, and they had to do something crazy, and I was just like so scared about hearing that. And also last year I went with my husband to get his wisdom tooth removed, and they had actually put him under, so he was under like anesthesia, I don't know what it is, like, you know, that where he fell asleep. When he had woken up, he was just out of it, and I just remember him being in so much pain for a couple days, like literally to the point like he doesn't want me to tell anyone, but he did cry a little. So like, I was just like, I don't want this. Like, I was just completely like set on this tooth is staying in my mouth forever. So basically afterwards, I remember we went out to eat, and the back of my mouth was feeling a little out of it, but not completely bad. And then the next morning, I actually plan on reviewing like this teeth whitening kit, and they have this thing where you have to actually create a tray, so it's customized to your mouth. So that morning I was creating them, and I kept messing up my bottom mouth, like the bottom part of my mouth, and I would have to do the clay all over and press down. And I guess it was starting to bother the back of my wisdom tooth because she had already worked on it, and then I was using the clay back there as well. So afterwards, I was just like, boy, I'm starting to feel a lot of pain. So I went to her on Monday, and on Tuesday it started bothering me after I did the clay, and you know, it was just bothering me gradually. So Wednesday is when it really started to hurt me, and I was just like, this is crazy. I've never felt this before. And I was just like, maybe it will go away because it went away the last time. So what had happened was Thursday my husband went to work, and by Thursday afternoon I had not eaten anything all day Thursday. So by Thursday afternoon I had texted my husband. I was like, look, I can't even talk. Like, you have to call the dentist and tell her I have to come back. This is crazy. So he had actually called the dentist, and she had told him that I still needed to call in. So I had called in and I could barely speak to her. And she was just like, you know, you should have called early. And I was thinking to myself, well, I thought, you know, it would stop. I don't know why I thought it would stop, but yeah. And then she told me to come in like really early. I think it was like 7 in the morning I came in. And so Thursday evening, like before my husband got home from work, I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I couldn't eat anything. It got so bad, I actually took the baby Orajel and I put it in the back of my mouth, and it felt good for a little bit, and then the pain got so bad, like that Orajel wasn't doing anything. And Layla was looking at me like I'm crazy because I was using her Orajel. She's just like, girl, I need that. So I don't know, it was just really, really painful. By the time my husband came home, he had bought me the extra strength Orajel, and I put that on, but literally I could not sleep at night. I kept waking up like every 2 hours and just putting it on, and I don't know if I may have used more than you're supposed to or whatever, I'm not sure, but I was just putting so much of that back there because like I couldn't swallow without being in pain. So that night I actually ended up calling my mom and telling her what was going on, and my mom, she is like such an angel. She came down in the middle of the night and ended up meeting us, because she's a few hours away. She ended up meeting us that morning at the dentist's office. So my husband, he had to go to work because his work isn't the type where you can actually take off like that. So he had to go to work. He gave the kids to my mom. And then I went in, and to me, I was thinking that they were just going to do some x-rays, because the way they did it, this is the same dentist office my husband goes to. And I was thinking what they did with him was they took x-rays and then they sent him to another place to get it taken out. And I'm just like, I cannot have this happen to me. Like, they have to take it out right now, because I was in so much pain. But my husband kept saying, oh, they're not going to do that. They're just going to refer you to somewhere else. And you're going to have to wait 2 weeks. And I'm thinking, I haven't even eaten these past 2 days. Like, how am I going to last 2 weeks? So I got there, and the lady had me sit down and wait for the dentist or whatever. And the dentist took me to the back, and she took an x-ray of my mouth. She had me actually take out my jewelry and things like that. But she took like an x-ray of my mouth, and I had to close my eyes. And the thing like went around me, and I guess like took like a full x-ray. And she said, yeah, like it was like, I don't know what she said. It was, you could tell it was like really, I don't know if she said inflamed or something, but it was just like really like bad. Like, it was to the point where it was just trying to push itself out. So she sent me to the back, and there was another dentist and another lady with him. So they told me to sit down, and he was asking me well, how it bothered me and things like that. And they were just like telling me all these different things and just pulling out all these like tools and things like that. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, we're gonna take it out today. And he's like, did you want me to keep it in? And I'm like, oh no, take it out. Like, I was just so happy. I was like, yay, he's taking it out. So he ended up numbing my mouth with a needle, and the needle was pretty long, and it like literally, it scared me. I was like, is this gonna hurt? And he's like, well, it's gonna hurt the first time, but after a while you're not gonna feel it at all. So I was like, all right. So he poked me with the needle. The first time it did hurt. Actually, let's say like the first 3 times it hurt. And then after a while, I was so numb, I couldn't feel anything. Like, my mouth was like, it felt good. And I was in so much pain. I was just really, really happy for it to go away. So I was just like, oh, this is amazing. So then I remember I opened up my mouth, and they were just like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut away on your gum area, and then that will expose the tooth completely. And then from there, we're going to have to pull your tooth out, and you're going to feel some pressure because we're going to be actually like literally pulling it out. So I was just like, okay. So and I was awake for this entire thing as well. So I opened my mouth, and actually I think I have a picture of my tooth where it was in the back. I don't know if I'm going to put it in or not, because I don't know if it was too clear, but I remember when it was bothering me, I took a picture of it. So if so, I'll put it right here. So basically the dentist like cut away the gum area, and I couldn't feel anything. I could just hear him working, which is like, ugh. So afterwards he got these like plier thingies, and the lady had like the vacuum over there, like I guess getting out the saliva and everything. So he started pulling, like he told me there would be pressure, and he literally like, it was making my mouth wider than normal, like, and it just felt so uncomfortable. So he pulls it out, and I say the pressure of him pulling it out was probably the most uncomfortable part of it, but other than that, it didn't feel bad during that point. So he had told me, like, he gave me this whole list of things that, like, I couldn't eat and could eat, and things that I had to do, and just what to be prepared for when the numbness goes away. So then he gave me, like, a list of things that I needed to do and just how to take care of it. And also, I forgot to mention, but he ended up putting stitches in the back of my mouth. So after they gave me the paper and everything, I ended up going back outside because my mom was still there with the kids, and it literally was like only 10 or 15 minutes tops that he took to take it out. So he was definitely really, like, quick about it. And then we got into the car, and I had a slip of, I think it was called amoxicillin, but I'm not sure. And that was just basically like to help make sure that it's like doesn't get infected in the back. It wasn't like a pain reliever or anything like that. And he told me, since I am still nursing my daughter, that I could take like Tylenol. So I ended up going with my mom and like my dad and the kids to Walmart, and I was so I was so like happy to be out of this pain. There was like, also I forgot to mention, there was like a cotton ball he stuck in the back of my mouth, so I had to bite down on it the whole time I was talking. And I was just so happy to be out of the pain though. Like, I was just like ready to go shopping. So we went to Walmart, and I was walking around showing my mom different things, and even like I got the Tylenol and stuff, but we were even like in the grocery section getting food, and I was just like, yeah, this is so good. So afterwards we started driving home, and my dad was talking about how he was gonna go get like breakfast at Hardee's because it was really early still in the morning. So we had waited outside Hardee's while he went in to get stuff for him and the kids and my mom, because I wasn't eating yet. And I remember sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, this stuff is starting to go away. Like, I just started feeling like the numbness was starting to go away, and I started to feel a little pain. So I'm like, oh great, this is where it's gonna get bad. I just knew it was gonna get worse. I was in so much pain, like I was literally crying. I thought I was going to throw up and pass out at the same time. I had a key to the apartment, so I'm just like walking in circles to the point where I couldn't even make it inside. Like, I was just like, I felt so like, so sick. So when I made it inside, I literally got into the bed and I was just like crying, and it was just really, really painful. Like, I would not wish that pain on anyone. It was so, so painful. So I ended up taking 2 Tylenols. My dad had went out and got the medicine the dentist had prescribed or whatever. And after those 2 Tylenols, I finally fell asleep, and I was asleep for like a couple hours. And when I woke up, I was still like in a lot of pain. And so my mom was just like, why don't you come up to Jersey for a little bit and just relax, and I'll watch the kids. And I was just like, that sounds like a good idea, because I did not even think like I could talk. Like, that's how bad it felt. Like, it was really horrible. So actually on the way home, they had stopped at Wawa to get some food, and I just could not, like, usually when you go to Wawa you get like subs and things, and I couldn't even get anything. Like, I ended up getting like their macaroni and cheese and like some rice pudding, and I was just like, this macaroni and cheese is so good, because I hadn't eaten in 2 days. So I was just like so happy to have any type of food, and I couldn't even chew, so I was literally like swallowing the noodles. But to me, I was just so happy to be having any type of food. It was just really bad. So I would say Friday morning was when I had this surgery. I didn't really get to eat like a good meal, I'd say, until Sunday morning for breakfast. And the pain probably started going down a lot more, I'd say, around Monday. And right now it feels a lot better, actually. But this morning I went to the dentist, and they took out the stitches, and that part was painful too, because she pinched me with the little like little scissors things. And she even said it when I was like checking out. She was telling the lady, she was like, yeah, she's in a little pain because I accidentally pinched her. And I'm like, really? But yeah, literally, like, it felt weird too, because like in the back, when I did have the stitches, I could feel them, like with my tongue, I could feel them back there. But it didn't like bother me when I had them, and now it doesn't bother me at all. Like, it did bother me when she took it out for a little. I still can't eat on this side though. I can only eat on this side. Like, anything back there, it just feels really sore. Like, if I put anything back there, it just feels really, really sore. And I asked the dentist too, how long would it feel like better, like completely better back there? And she said it would take 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm just like, this is crazy. And I still have 2 more at the top to take out. So I don't know. I hope they never come through, but I feel like this one's starting to bother me now. So This is just crazy. But that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I figured I would just tell you guys my experience with my wisdom tooth, and hopefully the top will be just as easy as the bottom was, because I don't want any problems. But thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.